Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Thrift Picks. This is the VHS edition, out every Thursday. This is the show where I pull a few new editions off the shelves and give you a taste of what I've been collecting. What I tried to do today was break down everything that I've got here into little subsections, little categories, okay? Beyond just how I like to collect and how I like to pick up items, because a large portion of what I've picked up over the last month or so was from that huge, closeout sale, and I was just grabbing as much as I could. All of that kind of just went out the window. What am I talking about? Well, it is my personal collecting preference or practice. Essentially, you've got a few categories. Number one is films that I love, films that I truly enjoy, that I would love to have in my collection as soon as I see them. So that's number one. Number two, were always going to be films that I've seen before and I either couldn't remember or didn't know how I felt about it, so they're due for a rewatch. Number three, were going to be films that have been on my watch list for a while. Maybe they were recommended to me, I heard them in an essay, who knows, but I have not seen them yet. And then of course we had category number four, which was always the blind buy. So films that I've never heard of, never seen, but something about it speaks to me. So I picked it up. Then lastly, we've got a sort of subcategory that could be attached to any one of those, which are new views. So still factory sealed movies and media, but none of what I have today are new views. Everything is open. And apart from one film, which I've seen, everything else I believe are not blind buys, no. Three films I've heard about, but have never seen, so we'll say they're on the watch list. Everything else, blind buys. So what are the categories that we're breaking things down in today? We're going to go with category number one, melodrama, romance, and moral dilemmas. Category number two is going to be psychological, sci-fi, and suspense. Third, we'll have animal focus and family-friendly picks. And lastly, one from Classic, War, and Duty. Let's not dilly-dally. Let's jump right into here, folks. So we're going to start out with a Robert Redford, Demi Moore, and Woody Harrelson starring or feature, and that's going to be Indecent Proposal. Now, how many of you have seen this? I have not yet seen it, but I hear about it all the time. Have you seen Indecent Proposal? How would you respond? Here's the back, by the way. Look at this cover. Yeah. Okay. Powerfully seductive. How would you respond to an indecent proposal? $1 million, no questions asked. One night with Diana, nothing more. And one irresistible movie. Indecent Proposal, the sizzling, controversial exploration of modern love and morality from the director and co-producer of Fatal Attraction. Robert Redford, Demi Moore, and Woody Harrelson star in one of the most surprising and unusual love stories you'll ever see. David Sheehan, KNBC TV. I love this cover art, by the way. Robert Redford kind of peeking out there. Let's move right along. We've got William H. Macy and Laura Dern in Arthur Miller's most controversial work, Focus. Who has seen Focus? Here is the back and the side there. Nope, that way. Let's see what we got on the back here. Set in New York during the height of World War II, Focus recounts the unraveling of an American community when the identity of a man, played by Macy, and his wife, Dern, are mistaken, slowly ostracized at home and work. They learn the value of self and solidarity as they struggle to maintain dignity and find happiness. Focus marks the directorial debut of award-winning photographer Neil Slavin and is adapted by Kendrew Lascelles from the Arthur Miller novel of the same name. starring, again, William H. Macy, Laura Dern, David Paymer, and Meatloaf a Day, a rare cinematic jewel. Vanity Fair. There is the tape. Now, one of the things that you should note, anybody that goes out and wants to collect VHS tapes themselves, is you always want to look inside the screen. I learned this the hard way. You want to check inside and make sure there's no mold in there, right? Little white fuzzies kind of growing on the tape. You can get mold in there, dust, other things of that nature. Because what that's going to do is it's going to eat away at the tape. And then what you don't want, especially if there's like a little bit, you don't want that to get in your VCR, because then it's going to get on the tape heads, and that's going to transfer onto another tape, especially if it's a favorite one that you love, and mess the whole thing up. So we don't want that. Next up, we've got No Looking Back, starring Lauren Holly, Edward Burns, and John Bon Jovi. Okay, you got it there. This was from executive producer Robert Redford and written and directed by Edward Burns. It's a moody small-town character study about love, loss, and stuckness. Burns follows up the brothers McCullen, which I have heard about, never seen, and one of his lesser-seen films. There's passion in the past, and there's danger. For some people, life is built like a house of cards, and it only takes an open door to blow it all away. But once that door is open, there's no looking back. Lastly, we've got a 2000 film. This is called Trixie. Now, I have no cover art. It came in this, actually, I think it was just the tape. It was just the tape, and I found this little hard shell box case. Clear and see-through, starring Emily Watson, directed by Alan Rudolph, a quirky noir comedy blend. Watson plays a well-meaning but linguistically challenged security guard caught in a casino emergency. Offbeat and uneven, but fascinating for its tonal mix. So, once again, Trixie, we'll take a look at that. All right, folks, so we're back with the psychological, sci-fi, and suspense section. These explore manipulation, identity, or limits of perception, wrapped in thriller or genre packaging. Now, I've only seen one of the two films in this section, and that is going to be the 2000 film, Hollow Man. Yeah, do you remember where you were when you first saw this? I'm pretty sure the first time I saw this was and I haven't talked about this on the Substack for months now, was at this laundromat that my family used to go to all the time when I was a kid, and they'd have a bunch of bootleg movies coming in. They'd literally, this was the first time I'd been someplace in public where they just had movies playing all day long. As soon as one would finish, the laundry shop owner would go in, pop another one in really quick, and they were back in business about 2 to 3 minutes later. Now, of course, they had, I believe, a lot of VHS tapes, so it was a little easier versus DVD. You got to go through the menus and do all of that. But yeah, think you're alone? Think again. Special effects that are really spectacular. The best since The Matrix. Lou Lemonick from the New York Post. Too much to read on the back here, but there is the back artwork again. You've seen Hollow Man. Some of you have. If you haven't, go check this out. Not sure where it's playing, but Hollow Man. A modern twist on the Invisible Man, leaning into voyeurism and moral decay, known for its then cutting-edge CGI and controversial themes. Now, moving right along to our animal-friendly and family-focused films, we've got two titles that often tackle perseverance, kindness, and connection to animals. Good for your gentle watch collection. All right, so first up is a 1997 pick. This is going to be based on a true story of socialite Gertrude Lintz, who raised gorillas in New York mansion, campy and sincere in equal measures. And that is, can you guess it? Let me give you a hint. It stars Rene Russo. It's from Columbia Pictures, and it's going to be a Jim Henson film. This is Buddy. Buddy. Look at that gorilla there. You got Rene Russo. Ooh, so cute. So cute. There's the back. And you cannot help but be won over by Buddy. It's a great kids movie. Holly Malia, Premiere Magazine. Amy Dawes from Daily News says kids and parents alike will find enchantment in this lively story. So next up in our animal-friendly and family-focused features, we've got Courage of Black Beauty. All right. This is a black and white film from 1957. This was directed by Harold Schuster, produced by Edward L. Who is this? Alperson? I really need glasses, guys. Please remind me. A heartwarming adaptation of Anna Sewell's beloved classic of A Boy and His Horse. The Courage of Black Beauty is a treat for the whole family. Young Bobby Adams, returning home to Valley Oak Ranch after living with his grandmother, has a difficult time with his alienated widower father. Given the gift of a newborn colt on his birthday, Bobby raises the foal into a fine horse, the noble Black Beauty being the bond that unites father and son. Simple and charming, this colorful film and its magnificent, intelligent animal hero will delight the child in anyone. I want to see that. I haven't seen many Black Beauty films, to be honest. And I think I have one, two. I think this is probably like the fourth Black Beauty film that I've got. I think I have possibly two VHS tapes and two disc-related ones. I think both of those are going to be DVDs. I could be mistaken, but we'll find out. Next up and last in this section is going to be The Maldonado Miracle from 2003. Directed by Salma Hayek. Did you know that? Did you? No? Neither did I. A film of spirit and completely appropriate for family viewing. The text on the back here is way too small for me to read at the present moment, so I'm going to kick it over here to some of my notes. Directed by Salma Hayek, a young migrant boy in a dying desert town sparks hope when locals believe he's responsible for a miracle. A rare and touching family drama about faith and belonging. This stars Peter Fonda, Mare Winningham, and Ruben Blades. A journey of faith, hope, and inspiration. The Oakland Tribune says Salma Hayek makes an impressive directorial debut. That should be cool. Then, finally, in our classic war and duty section, hard-hitting, morally gray, and often overlooked in modern collections, is going to be John Wayne and Kirk Douglas in Harm's Way. Now, I've heard about this one a few times. I heard it's supposed to be a really, really great war film. Black and white. This was, who do we got here? Based on the novel by James Bassett. It is directed by Otto Preminger. And this one, I believe, is going to be Hi-Fi. Two tapes here. Two tapes. And producer-director Otto Preminger's epic treatment of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. All right, and so last up in our classic war and duty section, we've got one film, and that's going to be In Harm's Way. This film stars John Wayne and Kirk Douglas. All right, folks, and so last up in our thrift picks for this week, we're going to have the War and Duty section, classic War and Duty, hard-hitting, morally gray, and often overlooked in modern collections. We're going to have a John Wayne and Kirk Douglas starring film called In Harm's Way. I really, really love the colors on this cover art, or this photograph. You got black and white in the back. Producer-director Otto Preminger's epic treatment of the bombing of Pearl Harbor details the devastating sneak attack on the naval base, as well as the explosive behind-the-scenes story. An awesome cast of stars including John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Patricia Neal, Henry Fonda, Carol O'Connor, Burgess Meredith, Paula Prentice, and a host of other notables are interwoven into this account of the attack itself. The disobeyed orders All right, folks, so last up on our thrift picks for this week is going to be the classic War and Duty section. Hard-hitting, morally gray, and often overlooked in modern collections. We've got one film. It has 2 tapes in here. It was by producer and director Otto Preminger, and it's In Harm's Way. Okay, this one stars John Wayne and Kirk Douglas. And the back says, Otto's epic treatment of the bombing of Pearl Harbor details the devastating sneak attack on the naval base, as well as the explosive behind-the-scenes stories. An awesome cast of stars including John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Patricia Neal, Henry Fonda, Carol O'Connor, Burgess Meredith, Paula Prentice, and a host of other notables are interwoven into the account of the attack itself, the disobeyed orders, the American counteroffense, father and son reunions, battles at sea, and layers of romantic entanglements. It's a story that's been told and retold, but perhaps never so completely. This looks to be a black and white film. Can't find the runtime on here, but it is from 1965. So that, my friends, wraps up this Thursday VHS edition of Thrift Picks. And lastly, I don't know if you noticed, but I have gone ahead and changed the name or the title of the show from Picks, P-I-C-K-S, to Picks, P-I-X. So still, it's Thrift Picks, but also meant to imply pictures. So with that, I am going to wrap things up here. I will be back next Tuesday with another with another disc-related edition. Okay, so Blu-rays, DVDs. Most of what I'm going to be showing over the next few months are going to be DVDs. That's really what I picked up. If I find any Blu-rays along the way, I will show them. Oh, I will show one today that I found and I thought was really cool. I just watched it the other night. Fantastic colors, fantastic richness and depth in how it looks. It's amazing. But I'll be back next week. With that. Don't forget, Sunday we're going to have 2 for the shelves again. Be sure to check out this past Sunday where we're watching this week Murder Was the Case, the movie. Okay, this is a short film. It is going to have, I believe the film is about 18 minutes long. And then we paired that with The Life of David Gale. Okay, this is, I'll read the back really quickly for those who didn't go check that out. Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey stars with Oscar nominee Kate Winslet in a powerfully gripping, edge-of-your-seat thriller hailed as provocative. An electrifying, suspenseful journey into deadly conspiracy and murderous deception begins with the respected professor who may or may not be guilty is charged with a brutal crime. The Life of David Gale is a brilliantly unpredictable thriller which builds relentlessly to a shocking final twist guaranteed to blow you away. Now, I believe in that post, I believe that I mentioned I had it on VHS. I think that's what I had at first. And unbeknownst to me, I couldn't find it. So I just ordered a Blu-ray version online in case I found it and I couldn't play it, only to find moments later that I did in fact have the DVD. So, it was too late to cancel. Anywho, we've got both. That is what we are watching this week. Reviews for this should be posted by the beginning of August. We'll have a brand new double feature this Sunday coming out. And what else? Lastly, this is what I found last week. Logan, right, on Blu-ray. Got it over at Academy Records. But it doesn't come with just the regular film. No, my friends, it also comes with Logan Noir. Have you seen that? Did you even know that that existed? A rich black and white noir version of the film. Still incredibly powerful, and I think even more so. Yes, the colors are great. I love the color version, but there is something about seeing a black and white film, and this definitely fit the bill. All right, folks, I gotta pack things up. We're gonna end it here, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Come back next week where we'll have a brand new set of picks for you. I'm also going to be sending out a quick video this Saturday talking about how I am categorizing everything, because that's what you need to do when you're collecting. You got to find ways to organize everything, keep them together, but I have a very special way that I'm doing that. So I can't wait to break that down for you. But without further ado, stay tuned and keep digging. I'll see you in the shelves.